Speaking was just amazing, and we're all absolutely proud of what you've achieved. In terms of responding to our two asks, on hate crime first of all, we want Greater Manchester to be what it's always been, a beacon of equality, of diversity, of true inclusion to the rest of the world. That's what we've always been in our history, it's what we should be in our future. So yes, let me say this very clearly. I will have a zero tolerance approach to hate crime in Greater Manchester, and yes, I will commit to create a portfolio holder on social cohesion. Doing all of the things that you've asked for, but a couple of others too. We need to have a new focus on integration. Let's truly welcome our refugees. Let's, together as a community, provide more support for people to learn English as a second language, because some of that support has been taken away. Let's really commit to do that using volunteers. Let's promote and prioritise the interfaith work that already goes on within Greater Manchester and really put it at the heart of the work of the Mayor and the combined authority. And let me say one last thing. If you will let me, I will be a fearless voice in standing out against anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. You know, that attack on Westminster recently, the day that happened, already people were in the media before they knew what happened, calling it an Islamic attack. Yeah, can I just say something? The person who perpetrated that attack on Westminster no more represents the Muslim community in this country than the person who killed my friend Joe Cox represents the Christian community. And as your Mayor, I will never tire of saying that on the national stage to promote a Greater Manchester for everyone. So then, if I turn to housing and homelessness, I will, firstly, as I say, from day one, set up a Mayor's Homelessness Fund to tackle and end rough sleeping. I've asked Ivan Lewis and Councillor Beth Knowles to lead a homelessness action network, and we will put into place all the priorities across Greater Manchester. But lastly, we need a housing policy too that's about tackling the housing crisis. Not just building luxury flats in the city centre and big commuter homes on the big roads, but council housing and social housing that people can afford. Thank you very much.
No, I think that'll do. That's great.
2 minutes. Okay, let me then just again thank you all for being part of this incredible event today as we go forward and together build this new era for Greater Manchester. But with all the opportunity, these are testing times. Greater Manchester is going to need experienced political leadership and a voice that can be heard on the national stage. And I believe I'm the candidate who can best provide that. With an NHS in growing crisis, with our schools sending begging letters home to parents, with record numbers of homeless people on our streets, you need a Mayor that's going to be a strong and experienced voice. That is what I can provide, standing up for people here. My track record in Parliament is in standing up for ordinary people, fighting for justice. I did that for the Hillsborough families. I made my last speech in Parliament last week for the sufferers of contaminated blood. I will always be a voice for the voiceless and a champion for the underdog. That's me and that's my politics. And to finish by saying, you know, I will work with you too. I will be a grassroots Mayor. You know, in putting together my manifesto, I call it our manifesto. I went round Greater Manchester and in the spirit of GM citizens asked you what you wanted to see the Mayor do, and I produced this manifesto, our manifesto, and I intend to put every single thing in here into practice, and I intend to be a Mayor that you can be proud of, so that we, Greater Manchester, can send a message to the rest of the country that there is a better way of doing things, that we can give more hope to our young people, we can treat older people with respect, we don't have to accept rough sleeping as an inevitable fact of modern life. We can be a beacon of social justice to the rest of the country. You know, I say this to you, in the next 5 to 10 years, more social change for the better in this country will come by people taking inspiration from what's about to happen in Greater Manchester rather than direction in the old way from Westminster. We are going to change politics for the better. You are going to do it with me. I ask for your support on May the 4th. Thank you very much, everyone.